Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Friday night. It is October 4th, 2024, and that means it is time for the Ghost Files Live with me, Vincent DiSanti. Welcome, everybody, tonight. Tonight is going to be a very special episode. Very rarely do we get to do something like this, and I think I'm starting to discover things about StreamYard and things that I can share through here, which will make it very, very fun. For those of you who are tuning in tonight, we're going to be taking a sneak preview of Ghosts in the Fog tonight. So this is going to be everyone's kind of first opportunity to see what the actual short is going to look like. And if you stay tuned to the end of the episode, I'm going to do the same thing for a little project called Ghost Chicken, which I've been teasing for a very long time on the channel. But before we get to any of that, let me remind everyone, please like this video and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. One thing about tonight, usually we do super chats and things like that, and our chat moderator Undead, who should be out there running around saying hi to everybody right now, usually encourages people to use super chats to ask questions. Tonight I don't want to do that, only because some of the material that I'm going to be showing tonight may trip some of YouTube's copyright infringement. So like when I show you the Ghost Chicken stuff later, I'm using some score from Paranorman as in our temporary sort of things. And I'll go on to explain a little bit more about that later. But I may be using some music that may get me flagged, that may just, any money that we raise tonight will end up going towards Paranorman and not Womp Stomp Films. So if you could please look at the links in the description of this video, the first being the Never Hike Alone Final Cut Kickstarter link. If you guys want to donate anything to the channel or to the stream tonight, go right to Kickstarter and go ahead and either make a flat donation or pick yourself out something nice. We have some new rewards that hit the campaign this week, which I'll go over in a little bit. And if you don't want to go through Kickstarter and you want it to come directly to Womp Stomp Films, there are also multiple links in there for Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, maybe one more thing, maybe a Zelle, maybe, I don't know, I can't remember. But either way, just hit one of those up and it will be greatly appreciated. Again, try not to put too much into the stream tonight or put super chats in the stream. If you do, it may or may not end up in my pocket once I do dispute I know the music flags are coming. If I can dispute those, I may have to split it, whatever it does. You guys do you, just whatever you can to help the channel. It's always greatly appreciated, which is really great. So before I go any further, let's get ourselves comfortable as we always do. No, it's over here. So boop, there you go. We're gonna shift this around because I want my background to look like this, and I'm gonna do that. Well, this is good. I should actually put a banner on tonight just to remind people not to do anything. Before I jump forward, let's jump into the comments, see who's here and hanging out this week. Pretzel Guy, first comment tonight. Welcome, Pretzel Guy. Pretzels are actually one of my favorite snacks to have during films. The theaters that have pretzels with cheese and the mustard, the hot mustard. Oh, clinch. Alamo Draft House has a beautiful little pretzel spread I always love to get. Luke, what's up? Ghost Jason's in the chat. Wow, Ghost Jason using a computer all the way from Camp Crystal Lake. That's amazing. Martina's back. Jeff, Omar coming in, I think. Yeah, Omar's in. Alley Girl's here. What's up? Steve DMV, Undead, obviously, moderator in the chat. What's up, man? Gregory Peck's here. Cheesy Corn Pop. Lamontre's here. Hey, what's up, man? Fabio, what's up, dude? Creative Psycho, Kyle, Dark Sound. Looks like it's all going. Hey, Juan Rivera's in the chat. That's good. From Mako Animation. Here we go. Diego Valenzuela's in the chat. We'll bring up his name in a little bit. I'm sure Moy will be here a little here. Draco. So yeah, so let's get into some stuff tonight. I'm going to close my comments for a little bit. Because I need to jump in. I got you should see the things that I have in my thing over here. I'm going to actually expand this out a little bit so I have a little bit bigger of a view for myself. First thing I want to talk about tonight is I actually hit up my Never Hike Alone 2. I hit up my Never Hike Alone 2 people on the Indiegogo today to just give them an update. Instead of typing out a big update today, I had a really busy day. I just want to give you an update. The Blu-ray is coming along, and I do want to share something with you now. So let me go to the show and tell. Look. Boop. This is what the menu for the Never Hike Alone Blu-ray will look like. The Never Hike Alone 2 Blu-ray. So we've been working on that. Basically, I've been building this for the last couple weeks. Putting in, the play movie, obviously, you know what that is, but I'm putting in the bonus features, getting all that stuff straightened away, the options, getting those done, the subtitles, which we have 8 languages of subtitles, which include English, Spanish, French, Portuguese, Italian, Russian, Dutch, and German, which Dutch and German may be very similar. And I know some people may slap me for that, but they're sort of similar. So those will all be on the Blu-ray. I just wanted to show people that progress is being made. I have the final version of the movie. I have most of the bonus features. That's what I'm collecting right now. Once I have the final version of the bonus features, I have to put them through. I got to just convert some of them because they're not all the right files. So once I convert all the right files and all that stuff is done, that will be really great. And if you're tuning in for Ghost Files, I swear, for Ghosts in the Fog, I'm going to get to that in a second. I just have to kind of clear some of this stuff out of the way. I also want to jump in and talk about and just say thank you to everybody who has backed Never Hike Alone, the final cut. This is the current look at where we stand. 353 backers have us at 72% funded with 27 days to go. This is a great sprint. You can kind of see, like, I'm showing you a little behind the scenes of what we have on Kickstarter. We get to see sort of what our funding progress looks like. We had a nice uptick this week because we had a few new perks hit the campaign, which people could put on as add-ons. So again, for those of you who have backed the Kickstarter campaign or are thinking about backing the Kickstarter campaign, if you've already purchased something, you can add more things on. And once you select something, there's an option to add it opens up your world to even more perks to add on to what we're going to do. These are usually limited perks or sort of special deals. And so this week, if you weren't already aware, we brought back the posters for Ghosts in the Fog, the one that we had in the previous campaign, which is the one to the left and the right. And then we have a new one, which is the sickle poster with our brand new character designs about to get attacked by Ghost Jason. You can actually buy this as a triple pack. All of these are 11 by 17 size. They're currently available as add-ons. I may have added them as real things too, but they're probably add-ons. I know that. We also brought back the Blu-ray jackets. So now Blu-ray jackets are available if you have previous editions of Never Hike Alone, Never Hike Alone 2, Never Hike Alone and Never Hike in the Snow. We have additional covers for you that if you wanted to add that, which are pretty affordable. And then the big thing that we added this week was the Ghost Jason figure, which I have one right here. Let me go back to this. So as you can see, I've showed this to you guys on the thing before. Kide and Richie did these. They are originally Freddy versus Jason, but he goes in and paints them. He actually redoes all the face. And in fact, if I go back to being small, you can see he does a really great job of redesigning the face so it looks like Ghost Jason. It's going to come with specific weapons for Ghost Jason: the axe, the double-bladed axe, the machete. We're also going to work on a sickle. The 3D printing department will be taking care of a lot of that stuff for us, which will be great. And I want to give you guys a quick preview of what is coming next week. Hopefully Monday I'll have these up, but we're going to have some new pins from Creative Terror Pins, which are these. Which I think are rad. I'm always down for a new Ghost Hawk pin, which they always look cool. Our friends at Terror Creative Pins did these. There's 2 variants. Obviously, there is the damaged and undamaged with the blood, which I think looks rad as hell. So you're going to have these options. If you've already bought a pin, this will be in the options for pins if you want this over the Ghost Jason pin that it looks like from Never Hike, from Ghosts in the Fog, or you can add these on top of. They will be available in both styles. So let me pull this up real quick. Let me give myself, I think that's pretty good. Cool. So let's talk about Ghosts in the Fog real quick. What are we about to watch? We got about 30 people in here. I wanted to give the stream a little bit of a head start to let people pile in so they can watch it with us. As you know, we've been working on Ghosts in the Fog for the last 2 years. It was sort of funded through the Never Hike Alone 2 campaign. And then when the film got extended and we hit all of our delays, we had to put all the money into the film, but we were able to put some set aside to keep developing Ghosts in the Fog, which the team at Mako Animation has been doing so. what we were able to accomplish during that time was something called a storyboard animatic. And I'm going to go over what a storyboard animatic is, because that's what we're going to watch tonight. Tonight, we're not watching final animation. We haven't raised enough money to get to final animation. I've seen some test animation. And if you saw the preview tonight, you saw a little bit of the test animation, but we've come a very long way since that sneak preview. But it all comes down to what we're doing here in this sort of first version. The story animatic is basically a series of storyboards that are cut are edited out just like a real film. They have, voices underneath, there's music, there's sound effects, and when cut correctly, the storyboards flow pretty well like animation. Obviously, it's not animated and fluid and everything's perfect. But the storyboards that we have for this film are done very, very well. They're done by an artist by the name of JD Leslie, who also did the storyboards for the opening of Never Hike Alone 2. And JD also did a ton of work on our Ghost Chicken project, which is where I met him originally. He now currently works, he was on BoJack Horseman. He was working on, it's like a hotel show on Amazon. I can't remember the name of it right now. If JD's in the chat, I'm sure he'll jump in. And JD, if you're here, awesome to see you, buddy. So that's what we're going to be watching in a little bit. And then this was cut together by a good friend of mine, John Caldwell, who used to work with a good friend of mine at Third Floor, Austin Boning, the director of Pathosis. He's currently an editor. The last thing I remember that he was talking about cutting, he was on Perry Mason for HBO. So very cool friend of mine who, did me a favor, did solid, cut these boards together. So what a story animatic is timed out storyboards. So we can hand that over to the animation department and they can animate based on the timing that we have on the boards. And per shot, basically when you do animation, you break it down per shot, just like you do a normal film. Those assets need to be built. And after we, kind of show you some of the things, I'm going to go through some of those assets and how they go from a storyboard and how they go from sort of the conceptual phase, and then we bring them into the animated phase and the process that we need to take from the place that we are right now to get to where we want to be, which really funnels back to the Kickstarter and raising enough money to make sure that we have the ability to complete this project, get it on the Never Hike Alone Final Cut Blu-rays. This preview and maybe even the entire thing, I haven't made the final decision yet, but this storyboard animatic will be available on anyone who had the Never Hike Alone 2 Blu-ray. I'm thinking about putting the entire thing on, so you're going to get a spoiler alert. I'm actually getting the credits from, that's one of the things I've been working on this week. I got the credits from the Indiegogo. I'm going to be building all of those in just for the work on the animatic, give those proper credits, put that on the Blu-ray, and then you'll be able to watch this entire short if you have this Blu-ray, and that's the only place it's going to be available. And you'll get to know what happens, before it happens. And then when the final cut comes out, you'll see the fully animated version, which will have all the effects and all of those things. Another thing I want to remind everybody is that this short is going to be in black and white. This is a money saving thing. If we raise $200,000, we'll think about putting it in color, but for money saving, it's going to be mostly in black and white. There are hints of color, like you can see on the poster there. There's a little bit of brown, tan gold for the handle. There will be blood. Blood will pop out and be red. The axe will be yellow. Things like that will pop out and we'll be able to sort of it's like Sin City in a way. We wanted to stylize it that way. And we're shooting for something that looks like you were watching a Warner Brothers animated Batman film. I think Juan, who is the other co-director and owner and operator of Mako Animation, he was referencing Gotham by Gaslight last time we spoke about that. So the other thing I want to do before I show this and I hit roll on this is just thank a few people. First, it's Juan Rivera from Mako Animation. He is the co-director of this film, also a co-writer along with Diego Valenzuela. Also a shout out to Moy Aguilar, who's always in the chat, always here every week. He's one of the producers and animators who's been working with us. He's been jumping back and forth, kind of handling both producing duties and art duties through this. Like I said, JD Leslie and John Caldwell. Also a shout out to Luciano Fahlhaber and Diego for doing the voices. Myself also lends a voice. Diego was also part of the story team as well, helping us come up with the story for this. Now, it's not a complicated story. This is very much like a Disappear, just a little bit extended. Instead of Disappear being a music video, this is a short film. The intended runtime of this is about 7 minutes. So what we're going to watch tonight is the first sort of the introduction to the inciting incident and then we're going to leave it there, and I'll let you up to the imagination of what's going to happen to the other characters. But you are going to see a kill tonight. We debated about whether or not we were going to show it or not. It's only in storyboard version, but you're going to get an idea of where we're trying to take this and where we want to push Jason Voorhees and Friday the 13th in animation, and hopefully open up the world to some of the other animated projects that we have on our slate, like Ghost Chicken and a few other ideas that I have up my sleeve that aren't quite there to share yet. So we got a good amount here. We're 15 minutes in. I think it's safe to say we can show this short. So let me scroll on up. Wow, 55 comments. There's no way I'm going to be able to keep up with you guys. So I'm going to be able to play this. I'm going to go away. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to be muted. You should hear all of the volume and all of those things. And it's going to be go. So without any ado, thank you. Sit back, relax. And here is the storyboard animatic for Ghost in the Fog.
Are you sure you know where you're going? I can't see a thing.
Of course, babe. It's not much further. It's got to be around here somewhere. Oh, shit. This is not our campsite.
I knew we were lost.
We're not lost. We're, we're... Oh, look. There's a cabin over there.
Maybe someone can finally point us in the right direction.
I don't see any lights on. Do you think anyone is home?
Only one way to find out. So, come on.
So much for those directions.
Okay, then plan B. Let's just hang here until the fog clears.
You sure it's safe?
Yeah, I mean, it looks safe enough. Just a bunch of empty cabins. I mean, we should at least look around or something.
We should just go. Something about this place feels off, like we're being watched or something.
See, so maybe there is someone here.
Ah, that's not funny.
Kind of funny.
You know what? I'm with Bree on this one. We should go.
Aw, Dom, come on, man. You too? Are you both serious? Where else are we gonna go right now? We can't see a thing out there.
Anywhere but here. Or else, we are all doomed.
You're both being a little dramatic. Let's just take a look inside and stay out of this storm. This doesn't look locked. Okay. Door's a little stuck. See? This place is harmless. Now, are you two just gonna stand in the rain, or are you gonna come inside before it...
We should...
And there it is. I'm going to pull this to here. We're going to do that. I'm gonna jump in the comments real quick. So that is the first. Let me see. Yeah, so you guys are seeing that. Yeah, just a flesh wound, just walk it off. He's probably fine. So as you guys can see, again, these are storyboards. I hope you get the idea. This is how we work in animation. I worked, when I worked on the film Freebirds and Rock Dog, we literally looked at the film like that for over 3 years before it went to animation. There's a lot of work that gets done at this level as far as making story decisions, voice acting decisions, all of those things. We can really make quick changes on the fly because storyboards, not that they're easy to, you just whip them up and make them look that good overnight. John David Leslie can. But there are things that are very, because it's one person making the changes, going into editorial, making some changes, swapping out some board, stuff like that. So we make a lot of changes at this level. Once that's locked in, we lock a sequence or a reel like what we just watched, I want to say, are 2 sequences. So there's the introduction sequence where we meet our character. Well, there's the introduction sequence of the whole thing that will be sort of a title sequence with people's names popping up as we're going around the forest. So that's one sequence that will get locked off. We can send those in. That's a lot of matte paintings. And then the stuff you saw with them walking up, that's a lot of what was in our sneak preview before. We have some early animation of what that looks like in that sneak preview, but we're going to upgrade that even more. And then the last sequence that I would say is the one where they actually arrive at the camp. They have the discussion. Jason shows up and we get to start off with the fun. And then what the fun is what happens to Dom and what happens to Bree. So there, let's jump in. Number 3 was Steve Christie. That's very right. We have a very good cheesy corn pop wins prize tonight. Or just wins wins a pat on the back for recognizing that the Steve Christie one, that was a reference to Never Hike Alone 1. Good catch. Let me see. Good. I'm just seeing holy crap, that was epic. Thank you, Ethan. Mitch, shout out to you because you did the voiceover for the teaser, so everyone was listening to you while they were waiting for this. Half Draco noticed that as well. So Jeff was asking that question. So I'm not going to be able to keep up with things too much tonight. I like Robert's answer. It's just the flesh one. So yeah, you guys excited? I mean, this is a nice step in the nice direction. There's not a lot of story to be built here. Obviously, we see that just a group of people, they get lost, they end up at the camp, Jason attacks them, and then it's about the tales of their survival. There's the upcoming sequences that are really cool. The team at Mako Animation and I are working to push the narrative in animation to bring more horror to animation. Even just cheesy. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah. And then Moy's in the chat. Exactly right. If you like that clip, you're going to love what comes next because we definitely push the animation with each one. That character, Brandon, is actually named after a backer named Brandon Covington, who that artwork was based on the original artwork, I believe, I can't remember what his name was now. It might have been Lee or Leon. I think it was Leon. And then Brandon backed in Never Hike Alone 2. He got an executive producer perk. So his likeness was put into the film as well as his name. So if you are interested, and I know it's a steep price, but anyone here who's interested, Dom and Bree are both up for grabs in terms of if you join the latest campaign as an executive producer on Ghost in the Fog, we will redesign that character to look like you, and we will name the character after you. We will keep the actor in place acting the lines, but we will look like you. There is one male and there is one female left. So if you want to get this present for your wife, or if you want to get this present for your husband or a friend or a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever it is, like, it's a pretty cool thing to have yourself animated in 2D, and then we're going to watch you get killed by Jason Voorhees. Now, remember this, another question I get is, where does this take place in the timeline? As we've talked about, I think before, the Ghost Jason timeline really starts around 2002 and goes to 2017. And this happens between then. I mean, it's obviously Never Hike Alone and Never Hike in the Snow happened in 2017. Disappear happened in 2004. This could happen anywhere in that timeline. There's nothing that designates it to any specific year, but it fits the criteria for people wander into the forest. They wander into Camp Crystal Lake. They never come out, and they wind up on a missing persons poster. I was right about Leon. I remembered that. And then, so Dom, who's played by Diego Valenzuela as well, is also an accomplished voice actor as well as an illustrator and animator himself. So it's pretty cool to have all that there. So now that we've taken a look at it, let's look at some of the cool new stuff that's come in over the last couple of days with, everything there. So I have to go back to show and tell mode. I'm going to get very small. There I go. So we just got a new design for Jason in, and here's our buddy Jason. So this is Jason's new design for Ghost in the Fog. Looks very different from the sneak preview that you saw where you had more of an egg-shaped mask. Now we put a little bit more angularity into it. We've worked on the costume, the posturing, the overall size of him, which I think looks really, really cool here. But this is basically what Jason's going to look like. I mean, it's a dead ringer for what we built, in live action for the Ghost Jason look. Here's him with some weapons. So you get a chance to see, you see how we're blending in the yellow and the gold and the tan with, with something that's going to be there. When there's blood there, it's going to show up. So for example, here's the axe. So you guys saw what we did with there, Ghost Jason's there, he, in one of these scenes, he's going to have an axe. And so one of the things that we do is we have to pluck out each one of those elements. And we have to build them and design them. Everything gets built from the ground up in animation, everything from the ground to the sky to, everything in between. And here's an example of what that can look like. So we have the water, we have the trees, a little bit of a campfire, Jason with the weapon. We haven't colorized this yet, but this is just sort of a temp rough example of what Jason could look like in our environment once everything is animated fully. So you saw what it looked like as far as a 2D storyboard. This is what it looks like as a 2D animation. But the cool thing about this is that we're working in 3D. I believe we're working in Unreal Engine. We're building live sets. So our space is actually going to be 3D. Our backgrounds are going to be 3D, but everything is going to come out looking like a 2D process, which is going to make the process much faster and a lot more efficient. For those of you who weren't around a few weeks ago, here's kind of a run through of the characters. So going back to here, obviously we redesigned Jason a little bit, but to the left is Dom, and then that's Brandon, and then that's Bree. Here is Brandon, named after Brandon Covington. Like I said, I think a couple weeks ago, he every picture he sent us, he had like an Orioles cap on, so we gave him a backwards cap for this one. This is Bree. And then where is Dom? And here is Dom holding the yellow axe, having some fun. Here are some test animations for Jason, just getting him moving around and seeing what he's going to look like. He's had a little bit of an update since then, which has been pretty nice. And then when you saw Dom wipe the map, here is what that map will look like. It will be on the wall, all that stuff. He'll scrape it off. You see the camp blood here. This is one of those elements that are going to be in the film. And, and that basically is sort of our rundown of props tonight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the floor for questions. If you've asked a question already, I have missed it. I'm just getting back into the comments now. So let me see. I want that as my wallpaper. We will make that a wallpaper. We will do that. Let me see. What's this? I was unaware that you could make animations in Unreal. I thought it was only for making games. No, Unreal is becoming something that is used by animation. That's by being used by lots of different people. In fact, Austin Boning does a lot of work in. Oh, there's Brandon. Hey, what's up, man? Good to see you. It's going to be good to see you in action. I hope you like your character design. But yeah, you can use Unreal Engine to create basically. So if you look at it this way, when you make classic 2D animation, everything has a background, right? You're doing a flat background, and then you always lay the cells of the characters on top of those backgrounds. You have to select your shots. A lot of things are proscenium, staging, which means stage theatrical type staging. So everything's moving left or right. Very rarely do you get the Z space work. So, this is, I believe, X here, Y up and down. So X is horizontal, Y is vertical, and then Z is 3D space. So towards camera and away from camera, or towards camera and away from camera. So usually in 2D animation, like the classic Bugs Bunny cartoons, everything was proscenium because they were very rare. Like, bugs would run up to the lens every now and then, but mostly everything you saw was very stage-like. And now when you watch like Family Guy and stuff like that, you'll notice that things get done in 3D. So Unreal is a tool that you can use to create those backgrounds, and then you can, just like old school animation, animate on top of it with your 2D cells. Everything is done digitally now. It's not hand. I mean, this one, I don't want to throw you for a spin, but man, this would be really cool to pencil out and make it classic. But this, you know, the way we're doing this is definitely high tech. It's going to save a lot of money by doing this. But the reason why we're raising this money is because there are lots of really great artists and animators down in Mexico with Mako Animation who are ready to make this movie. They've been waiting to make this movie for 2 years. And this campaign is the opportunity for us to do that. Right now, we're going in on our first goal. Our first goal is going to take care of the Final Cut Blu-ray, but we do need to hit that 100K stretch goal to make sure that we can complete the entirety of Ghosts in the Fog. Luckily with Kickstarter, if we hit our goal, we do have late pledges, which will be open indefinitely until we decide to close them. And what I'm hoping to do is reach our first goal, get as far as we can to 100 grand. If we don't get there, keep that open. And just like with Never Hike Alone 2, spend the next couple of months continually raising, maybe, you know, even if it's $1,000 to $5,000 to $10,000 a month, to finally get to that $100,000 mark, so we can get this made and get this put on your Blu-rays. Juan actually has a great thing. Exactly. Unreal is helping us create backgrounds, props, and different things to use with the 2D animation as guides. Said it much better. That map is from the Friday the 13th NES game. It's very close to it. It's very close to it. In fact, I was talking with somebody about that. There's actually, we got to go back to that game. I actually got to kind of talk to them a little bit. Will the Final Cut have the intros from each of the movies as special features? That's not a bad idea to have like the credits for each one. They will be cut out of the actual movie, but to have the intros from each movie as special features. I'll think about that. Mardina says, it kind of reminds me of Sun City, with most things in black and white and some things really popping. That's exactly what we're going for. Again, if we had all the money in the world, we'd make this fully animated with, you know, all the bells and whistles, all the colors, make it look really, really cool. But because that is a whole nother layer of production for time and all of those things, right now it's a very streamlined production. So we'll get it in black and white and do it this stylized way. And we think that that will look cool on its own. I mean, it's not that we're like bummed that we're doing it in black and white. It's actually a really cool experiment. Everything that we're doing with this is really an experiment, and that's why we want people to be a part of it. This is really cool. We've never seen Jason in animation like this. Once we see the fully fleshed out version, because guys, when you see the ending to this, that's really where it leads to. I would say the ending of the film is really where it pops off the most. You know, we save the best for last. It has a very nice artistic ending. And it leaves the door open for other tales to be told. And this may be a way that we can keep the Never Hike Alone brand alive by doing films like this and adding them to the YouTube channel and letting you guys kind of run with it. Let me see. Anything that comes up. Hey, Slaughtered Lamb Podcast is in the house. What's up, guys? It might be Darren here to ask filthy questions. Ghost Jason loves it. 2 axes from Ghost Jason. That's good. Yeah, it feels like we're making Beetlejuice something different in indie. Well, I don't know how indie Beetlejuice is anymore, but yes, more Kyle. You want an animated Kyle? Animated Kyle Butts. That's what we'll do. I needed the Game Shark to win the Friday the 13th NES game. It was hard as hell. It was really hard. I forgot. Was it Game Shark? Oh, well, there was Game Shark and then there was Game Genie. And I had Game Genie. I remember that one. I remember the extended plastic piece that went off of it. Let's see. You said in the last stream that when Jason got up after the start of part 3, he hit his mother's head, but we see a shot of his head immediately after in the daytime. Well, that was a dream sequence, wasn't it? In part 2, we see the head still in the shack and we push in on it. And then in part 3, we see Pamela jump out of the water and drag Chris under the water. And then she wakes up and she gets put in the crazy bin and she gets sent off to the loony bin. So we never really see what happens to her, but we know that the spirit of Pamela is still around. And that's sort of the last time we ever see them. So Game Genie. Yep. He was all over that. Cool. Oh yeah. Game Genie. No, there was a Game Shark too. There was something too like that was there. Yeah. So yeah, I just want to take a quick little pause for a second and see if anyone has any questions. Anything to ask about, like any questions about the film itself, the animation process, anything there. Like I said, I've spent a long time in animation. I do love this medium of telling stories. I'm really excited about the opportunity of what we're going to be able to do with that. Actually, Chris is in the hospital in part 4, not in a mental hospital. Where is Chris in the hospital in part 4? I don't ever see her. But she is definitely losing her mind at the end of that movie. Let me see. Yeah, the jump scare on Friday the 13th got me. Hang on. Homemade Thai iced tea tonight. Let me see. All right. So, just as a reminder, everybody, the links in the description, especially the Kickstarter. If you want to support Ghost in the Fog, please go to the links in the description and help us get this thing made. I'm really passionate about getting this one out, and doing it. I think it's pointed out in the kill count. I'm actually really intrigued to this. I've never really noticed Chris in part 4. Maybe she's in. Is she supposed to be in that room where they're like grieving family? Was that supposed to be her? That would be an interesting thing. Chris hugs her parents at the start of part 4 at the hospital, but we don't see her face. Yeah, that's okay. That's supposed to be Chris. I never realized that. Okay, good. Here we go. I asked earlier, but you missed it. But the question was, did you have to jump through any legal hoops in order to make all of these Friday the 13th projects and merch? No. Here's the Kickstarter link in case you need it. I'm going to put that up for this. No. Everything that we do is in support of making the content. And as long as it goes into the content and we don't sell it afterwards for a profit, we just keep breaking even. There's nothing that we can really be sued for. We make things free and available for people to watch. So as long as we keep doing that, and as long as we don't put things behind a paywall, we sort of fall into the legal of it all, that people can do it. Now, concept stuff like this that's unfinished, like, we can do whatever we want with it. Like, if we just want to show it to some people, or, if we want to show it on the stream or just put it on the Blu-ray, like, we could do that. We wouldn't make that exclusive because we haven't finished it yet. But once it's finished, it will be put on the Womp Stomp Films YouTube page. We do want to try and flip the script on the next release, where instead of releasing it online and then releasing the Blu-ray, that I'm hoping that we have enough time to like do everything that we need, get it on the Blu-ray, build the Blu-ray, and then get that out to backers. And then once backers have their Blu-rays, we just start all marching towards Friday the 13th in June, where the world will get to watch it. So I want to give everyone the ability to watch it first, because you guys backed it, and give you, that's something we've never been able to do with the Never Hike Alone thing. Go from there. But going back to this question, with the merch and stuff like that, I think because, all of our merch has Never Hike Alone. All of our Jason stuff is like our own Jason design. We're not taking a part 4 Jason, putting on stuff and selling it. So I think we've cleared the legal boundaries there as well. I'm sure somebody can come in and stop us from doing this, but it's always, our merch is always tied to something that we're doing to raise money for a project. So because it's all just sort of leading towards the same place, and it's just helping us raise money, that's how you usually kind of get around those loopholes. Am I able to get a Ghost Haw Mask from Horror Effects Design, or is that only for the Kickstarter of Never Hike Alone 2? No, you can go directly to Horror Effects Designs and get a Ghost Mask right now and put an order in. What we were doing through the Kickstarter was offering it that the mask comes with signatures. We can, I'm going to sign them. We can get time to sign them, inside, outside, whatever you guys want. So that was the incentive to sort of get it there. We're also going to be looking into, hang on, let me just switch this real quick. Boop, there you go. We're also looking into getting new masks made. Cody Wilkins, who does our visual effects through 3D, through the 3D printing department. I'm just fixing my background. Through the 3D printing department he did a 3D sculpt of our mask. Basically, he took the original Ghost Haw mask, he ran it through a 3D scanner, got all the exact measurements of it. He's going to build a buck off of that, and we're going to start doing new pulls from our team, and we're going to make them as screen accurate and screen ready as possible. Not that Jeremy doesn't do a great design. Jeremy does do a great design, but his repros are not quite the thickness and rigidity of the mask that we actually use on screen. And the thickness was always something that I was very particular about, because I needed the mask to have weight versus feeling like a flimsy mask that wouldn't stop a puck. Doesn't make any sense. Let me see. The only add-on right now is this guy, Bloop, which you can kind of see here. I'm going to take the mask off. Kaiden, when he does these, he really went all out with, like, you can see he has that mask. It also comes with a fully intact mask as well. The black and white does make it feel like a Universal movie, where we're kind of going for that there. Okay, so here it is the custom figure on Kickstarter somewhere else. So on Kickstarter, if you've already backed the campaign, there is an additional add-on for that. I don't know if they've sold out. I could check for you. They may have sold out. If they're not listing, they may not be there. I can talk to Kaiden. They may become available down the road. We're starting off with 10 for now. We didn't want to overwhelm them. So we definitely wanted to kind of make sure that was in there. Now, reminder, everybody, I'm also going to show you a little bit of Ghost Chicken tonight, which is the same thing. And the Ghost Chicken preview is longer. It's the same exact thing. It's not the same storyboard artist. There were actually 3 storyboard artists who worked on it. And I feel bad because I'm blanking on names right now. And I think while I'm just waiting here, I'm going to just jump into my files real quick. I got to go to edit, and then I have to go to output, and then I got to go to the full assembly. Let me see. I just got to go over here. Where's my peoples? So story artists for this are Monique Arroyo, Jay Klaus, and JD Leslie. But the only 2 you're going to see are Jay and Monique's boards for what's coming up. But definitely, you definitely stick around for that in a little bit, because Ghost Chicken is a project I'm super passionate about. I just want to make sure I get all the questions for Ghost in the Fog out of the way. There. Yes. Oh, you have to already back first. I've been working on that, but there was a technical difficulty I need to sort out. Yeah. Work out what you got to do. You can even like just get the like the digital perk. If you get the digital perks, you have options to add everything on too. So you can build your own custom thing. It's just easier to bundle things and then add on that way. You just save some money that way. That's the way we do it. Oh my God, you guys are killing each other in the thing. I want to get the most accurate version. Yeah, Jeremy, like I said, Jeremy does a great design. It's going to be a while before we get those other Ghost Hawks up and running. It's going to take some testing. We want to make sure that they're right. But we will definitely get there. If you guys have any questions, or you guys ever have any issues with the Kickstarter, you can contact me here at wompstompfilms at gmail.com. Thank you for that, Undead. Let me see if there's anything else that I missed. I did not miss anything. All right, everybody. Let me see. We're about 45 minutes in. We still got 30 people in here. Who wants to watch the first? Let me see. How many minutes is it? Who wants to watch the first 6 minutes of Ghost Chicken? Ghost Chicken is like a 22-minute short. Again, this is going to be a quick preview it's the storyboard animatic. There's actually a little bit of animation in it, but it's very crude. And kind of go from there. But let's go ahead and watch the first 6 minutes of Ghost Chicken, and I'll talk a little bit about that project once I come back. Let me hide the current comment. Let me go to brand. I'm going to wait for the 45-minute portion, right? And then we're going to go from there. Let me see. I'm going to change my background real quick. That way I can come back to the Ghost Chicken background. Whoop. You guys don't know what's back there just yet. I'm going to show you the characters. I'm going to show you the chicken. And then we're going to have a fun little talk about this. So 45 minutes is coming up. And that way it's easy to remember for people to go to. And right there, without any further ado, please enjoy the sneak preview of Ghost Chicken.
This line is taking forever. It better be worth it.
Trust me, it's more than worth it.
Oh, yeah? Says who?
Says me, so stop whining. Besides, it's almost...
Next.
See?
Fine.
Namaste and welcome to Vegan Eating. How may we enlighten your day?
Namaste. Jasper, I will have the happy release lettuce wrapped with onions, pickles, a little sriracha, no tomato, and extra avocado.
Extra avocado is $5.
Don't worry, I'm good for it.
And you?
I still need a second. Do you guys just have like a veggie burger or something?
Words like burger have a negative aura attached to them, so we prefer more forward-thinking labels for the nourishment we provide.
Okay.
She'll have the Mother Earth on a gluten-free bun, tree hugger style.
Good choice. That'll be $30.75.
I can't believe you just paid $30 for that.
So what? It's my parents' card.
And they don't care?
What are they gonna do? Make me starve? Ooh, I love this part.
What part?
Let us rejoice in a heavenly meal. Happy release, Mother Earth.
Thank you for choosing vegan, Eden. Have a blessed day.
Hey, at least the service is decent.
Wait till you try your burger.
Hey, this doesn't suck.
You're welcome.
I mean, vegan food usually tastes like a tub of glue, but this? This is fucking awesome.
You okay?
Yeah, I just thought I saw...
What?
Never mind. Hey, what do you think they put in these things?
It is actually a combo of grains, soybeans, tempeh, dried up sea vegetables, with just the right seasoning and some other special ingredients, which, if I told you, I would have to kill you. I'm just kidding. Name's Charles McAllister. I'm the owner. Didn't mean to interrupt your meal. Just making sure your experience here is nothing short of heavenly.
I love this place.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
Well, that's wonderful. Here, next round is on me.
Oh, that is so sweet.
Yeah, thanks.
My pleasure. And don't forget to rate us on Welp.
See? Isn't this place great?
I guess. Olivia, look!
What?
Huh? Okay, I know this sounds a little crazy, but I could have sworn I just saw
A chicken?
on the table and then again over there by the counter.
Okay, so where'd it go?
I don't know, but I'm going to find out.
Lex, wait, where are you Ooh! Yoink!
Excuse me? Where do you think you're going?
Bathroom?
The one you just walked past?
Oh, yeah, duh. My bad. Typical young person on my phone, not paying attention to what I'm doing.
It's okay. Happens all the time.
Oh, hey, I was just wondering, do you have a mascot, like a pet chicken or something?
Is that supposed to be some kind of sick joke?
No, I just could have sworn I saw a chicken running around the restaurant and
I'm gonna have to stop you right there. As a proud member of PETA and several other animal rights organizations, the mere thought of keeping any sort of animal as a pet, nevertheless a mascot, sickens me to the core. Not to mention it would violate several health codes.
Oh, gosh, I am so sorry. Maybe I was mistaken?
Well, I would hope so. Now, if you would excuse me, I have to get back to work.
refine your chicken?
No.
Oh, that's too bad. I have to go to class. Do you want to walk me?
We use only the finest ingredients in the nourishment we provide.
No, thanks. I think I'm gonna hang here and study for a while.
Okay, well, see you tonight then?
Yeah, sure.
So there it is. There is your sneak preview of Ghost Chicken. I do hope that you enjoyed that. It's a little bit of a different style from here as a Womp Stomp Films. Definitely going back to my comedy roots from animation. It's definitely more of a comedy animated horror themed film, sort of mystery, Nancy Drew. But it's a script that, hang on, if I go to show and tell land, this is a script that has done very well at many different festivals, won a few awards, and is loved by everybody who reads it. Everybody who watches the full Animatic is a huge fan of it. But I'd like to introduce you to my little friends. Here is the cast of Ghost Chicken. We have the proprietor of the shop. We have Olivia and Lex. We have the chicken. Lulu is the girl who serves them, the Let Us Rejoice girl. Jasper, our guy at the stand. We have two police officers that show up eventually because obviously she's going to get herself into a little bit of trouble. And obviously my favorite when you get to see the Ghost Chicken in full regalia, but this is sort of an early design for the chicken. This is something we want to work again with Mako Animation on to refine and make better. This is going to be its own campaign sometime in 2025. But for those of you who join us for the Ghost Files, I wanted to give you a nice preview of it to get you ready for a project that we're excited about. And hopefully we'll get to bring to life sometime next year. So let's jump into the comments. Do you guys have any questions about Ghost Chicken or any of any of the things that kind of going on with this? I'm glad that Allie liked my "Let Us Rejoice" joke. Let us rejoice, which I always thought was pretty funny. Yep, $5 for the extra for the extra guac is definitely something. This was definitely based on put some chevrons on the chicken face. Then we get killer chicken. Half Draco loves the derpy Ghost Chicken. Steve DMV thinks this looks really funny. Allie loves it. Half Draco also said the Nancy Drew mention. Yes, so yeah, a little bit of there. Mitch, what does he say? Never trust the phantom poultry. And then Juan likes the transition. I don't remember which one the transition was, but maybe the yoink. No, dude, the more questions, guys, ask all the questions. That we got like 7-ish minutes left that I'll kind of hang out. Ghost Chicken is not going to be on anything. I'm not going to place that on any Blu-rays or anything like that. It's not quite ready. I actually cut this. This was actually my sort of stepping back into editing. I cut this together a few years ago. There's new boards and a new ending that we have to put in. That's going to be put together sometime, like I said, early next year. Right now, Mike Appy, the editor who cuts all of our Never Hike Alone content, currently has the Ghost Chicken hard drive and is going to take a dive in. He actually did work on a show called, I believe it was called Little Devil for effects. It was Danny DeVito and Aubrey Plaza, where a girl played the daughter of the devil, and it's sort of like a coming of age tale. They did one season, I know that. Where we're doing that. Yeah, definitely right there. A little bit of Scooby-Doo, a little bit of Supernatural. It's definitely more of a mystery thriller than it is like a straight horror. You're not going to have like multiple people getting murdered throughout the film, but there is murder, there is intrigue, there is a mystery, and there is some pretty cool stuff there. Oh yeah, right. I was thinking that. I was like waiting for it to like shut down, and it just dissolved to my face from her face. It was like a cross cut, and it kind of threw me off. I won't. There, Cheesy Pop thinks it's beautiful. Moy thinks it might be funny. But I saw Moy had a question. What is Ghost Jason's favorite weapon? You know, I gotta say, I really like the sickle. I think the sickle is underrated. I like the way Jason looks with the sickle. I think it looks really, really cool. It's definitely one of my favorite things, and I like to do it. Let me see. I wonder if Ghost Chicken is on a mission of revenge or looking for resolution. See, got people all in there. I have the Voorhees burger with a side of fries. That's funny. Nice little Jason Goes to Hell reference. Thank you, Kyle. I'm glad you think it looks cool. Alley Girl and Ghost Jason think that the axe is the favorite weapon. The ghost machete was called out. I mean, anything Jason get his hands on. Actually, I want to say Jason's favorite weapons are his bare hands. He definitely does a lot of damage with that, crushing Rick's head, crushing Andrew's head. Well, I guess, you know, he do have some stuff too. Yeah, boy, that was a typo. I mean, it looks funny. Looks funny. You're working on it, man. I hope you think it looks funny. But anyway, what do you guys think? Would you guys support a Kickstarter based on this? This will probably be around a $50,000 Kickstarter, just like Never Hike Alone. But we may, you know, we'll just see what we do. We may set another goal just to get it going, get some other stuff going. There is a seize, the hospital scene. Yeah. Right. And he can throw it, he can slash with it. You know, obviously in Ghost in the Fog, it's the first weapon we use is the sickle, and he splits someone in half with it, which is really cool. He uses 2 other weapons. Actually, he uses 3 other weapons in Ghost in the Fog. 2 you've seen before, 1 you've never seen before. You've seen it once in a Friday the 13th. I won't say which one, but it's a singular use weapon that was only used in one film. It makes its return in Ghost in the Fog, and it leads to the coolest kill in the entire short. So we do introduce a new ghost weapon in Ghost in the Fog, so make sure you're checking that out. Because while I'm saying that, I'm going to bring up this thing again. Remember, the Kickstarter link is in the description of this video. You can go there. You can support the film. Anything that you can help us out with is greatly appreciated. We want to see this film get made. We're marching towards that $50,000 deadline or goal. The deadline is October 31st, the midnight at Halloween, which is a Thursday. So don't forget about that. You won't have till Friday. It's going to be Thursday night at midnight Eastern Standard Time. That's when we're going to have to hit our goal. We will have late pledges that you'll be able to come in and do late pledges on certain items. We may turn things off after a while. So you definitely want to get it in now, get your orders early in now, or else you're just going to follow further and further down the thing. Not the spear gun, but close. He technically used a spear gun more than once, hasn't he? Yes, he used it in part 3 and he used one in part 8. I was thinking the weed whacker from part 7. It's not motorized. It's not motorized. Oh, I bet it's the ditch blade. We'll have to see. Did you hit the like button yet? Have you subscribed? I hope you have, because the pole saw or a weed whacker. All good guesses. We'll have to see. You're going to have to tune in. You have to support the film, make sure it happens, and then you will get to see. Or if you got a Never Hike Alone 2 Blu-ray coming, you will eventually get to see it in animatic form. I'm going to put the whole animatic together. It has been cut. I want to make a couple of, that's what I'm sort of working on right now. I'm working on a couple of adjustments for the music, and I got to work on I actually went into the Indiegogo, got everyone's credits from the Indiegogo that helped get it this far. I'm going to build a credit sequence just for you, and we're going to get that out there for you, and it's going to be great. The corkscrew, we'll see. Let's see. So I think we're good. We're winding down. We're coming to that hour, that glorious perfect hour that we sort of have gotten used to, and I really like kind of doing it all 1 hour, not kind of dragging it out like sometimes I use a spoon because it's dull. That's a great Prince of Thieves reference right there. I like that. Undead. I like that. A pencil. Okay, do a pencil trick. Jason can do major damage with the ditch blade. Imagine getting vertically sliced to death. You just love vertically slicing people to death. I can tell that. He's just going to kill him with a dance. That's exactly how it's going to go. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this week's Ghost Files. I know I have. It's always fun getting to show things off that, from behind the scenes, giving you a look behind the scenes. If you ever have any questions or anything like that, Come back next week. If anything comes up in your brain, I'll be happy to answer additional questions about animation, about the project itself, and anything else we have here going on at Womp Stomp Films. As another reminder, like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check out the links in the description below. Support the Kickstarter for the final cut. You can send direct funds to Womp Stomp Films there. If luckily we didn't get any, I say luckily we didn't get any super chats tonight, so everyone did hear the instructions. But like I said, that clip of Ghost Chicken has a bunch of stems from Paranorman and Monster House and other things that helped me build that animatic. So I'm probably going to get flagged, and I'm probably not going to make any money off this video, which is fine because I hope it pushes you to go to the places that actually really benefit us, that help us create more content for you and help keep this channel alive, because after all, Jason will never die because of fans like you. So with that said, I hope everybody has a great weekend. Make sure you stay safe, take care of each other out there. And until next time, we'll see you on the